Okay, we're gonna discuss some loot profile stuff. This is by far not my best knowledge base, but I did figure it out recently. You're gonna see I'm going to my Windows C drive. I've got my games drive and then my Verindy. So I go through, I open my Verindy plugins, and you've got your VTank Classic Looter. The VTank Classic Looter has your looter. This is going to be the default how you set up. Now, most people like me are running a version of Loot Snob. So we load up the Loot Snob, click and drag. Loot Snob was made by Immortal Bob. It's a beautiful piece. It has a ton of things, Etheria, everything. And you just can basically toggle rules on and off. It can get very complicated. So my advice is you start with the basics and turn things on and off to get what you need. When you really start looking at weapons, so this is a heavy axe, and you can get 430, 420, 400 wields. If you want 400 wields, wield requirement equals 400. They're looking for buffed max damage. You toggle that rule, it'll now loot that type of item. You can make a rule that does, or you could edit this, or you could copy it and make a new rule that had the wield requirement of 250 if you wanted. That all gets very complicated very quickly, but it's all possible in this. Um, in that situation, you can go through and everything you've got is in here from spears, light weapons, heavy weapons, finesse weapons, two-handers. It's all here, and it all works. It can just be a lot of getting used to. Do you want to loot double A majors? Do you want to put loot an epic plus an 8 on pants? Do you want to loot all epics plus 8 on jewelry, object class? And that's where it really gets to be a very interesting thing. Um, if we go into depth on, and I'll pick something here and go into depth, the sets I don't even know how to mess with myself. I guess I'll go back to the epic example I had or something like that. A weapon, a fire. So if you didn't necessarily want to have the highest max damage, I would go in here, buffed max damage 71, and I don't know, let's lower it by 5, so 66. Boom. Now it's going to loot anything that's 4 or 5 damage below max damage and up. It's going to recruit wield requirement. Long value is 46 for finesse weapons. I know a lot of this from doing code. If you don't know it, look around because this is all built for you. So you should be able to edit what's here. Um, Weapon mastery category. You could change this to, is it unenchantable? What's the weapon speed? What's the wielding slot? There's a million ways to really do this. It's a severely complicated thing. You can have it go after, um, well, I guess I'll do a new rule. If I do a brand new rule down here, I'm going to call this, and this is a good way to farm money, so this is a cool one, glyph. If you didn't know, the glyphs you can get are worth 30,000 a piece, so you can farm really good money there. So I'm going to add glyph, and then I'm going to create another new sub rule, and I'm going to go spell name match, but I'm actually going to go string value match, and then I'm going to go name, and then for the pattern, I'm going to put glyph. Okay, it will now loot every single glyph in game, and it'll put them into your pack, and you can go sell them later. There's a lot of stuff like that. You can turn on the salvage you want, it'll auto salvage, it'll do anything you need there. You can set your salvage combinations. There's just a whole ton of stuff here. The easiest way to do it is to turn things on and off. One thing I'll send when I'm making this for someone in particular, and anyone else can ask me at any time, I'm willing to share whatever. This is my loot profile. You'll see I have added Kalinian keys, quills, ink, glyphs at the bottom. This one is set up. It gets all the salvage that I want to get. It gets all the armor I want to get, and it actually picks out, there's a section here where it's picking out Selden based on what the veins are. So it loots me every piece with the right veins. It loots me a Molly with the right trim. And those are really valuable things for me because I like leaving a pretty corpse. It loots all cloaks that are 4 and above. I'm going to be kind of getting that closer, more tight as times go. But right now, I'm just trying to figure it out. It loots all legendaries. If it's on jewelry, it'll loot any legendary on jewelry. It'll loot any multi-legendary on jewelry. Any legendary on, well, I got it. This is all jewelry, but I have it on armor too. Epics. It will loot multi-epic pants and shirts. And that's it. You have to set it up. Legendary shirts and pants it will loot. Multi-legendaries. And then it gets to armor. There's some things I loot there, not a whole ton. I don't actually farm very much because I don't have time. I'm not a great player in that respect, but like it loots all the rares, pristine mana shards. I have it set to pick up the corrupted essences that are out on Dark Isle because I hunt there quite a bit. It's a really good tool, and hopefully this will give you a idea of how to do it. Thanks, brother. Enjoy.